Oh, sorry about that. Okay, I did recall that we're almost running out of time. Sorry about that. Okay, so let me just give others some time to catch up with us. Okay. Sorry, please. So sorry about it. Okay. Uh, so please, before I proceed, I want to be sure that you are all hearing me. Do I have the go ahead to go? Do I have the license to go ahead? Please do reply with a yes
Yes,
if
sir.
to go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Got a chat. Okay. Yeah, sorry. So okay, like I said, if the internet is not a secured place, okay, is a public network. So everyone, any data you're sending back and forth on the internet, if there are not security measures, that data, what you need to notice, that data can be compromised by a hacker. And a hacker, there are various kinds of hackers, but in this case, it's called, they are called black hat hackers. The black hats. There are actually several. Did I open this VPN? No. Let me go here. In this case, they are called the black, the black hat hackers. The black hat hackers doesn't necessarily mean that they are putting on a black hat. Yeah, that's always what people sign. So that's what people basically use. Yeah. Like as ways of differentiating them, you use a black hat on them. So you have there are a couple of hat. There are a couple of hackers. You have the black hat, the gray hat, the white hat. The white hat basically, I'm just going to talk about those two alone. It's really not much something we're really going to focus on. So the black hat are the bad guys, those who try to go into systems, destroy systems, or without permission. So unauthorized access to systems are what the black hat hackers do. They don't necessarily need to ask you. All they just need to do is to look for some sort of hacking measures, whether it's brute force attack, whether it's phishing, whether it's farming, whether it's social engineering, whatever, to compromise a system. Do you understand? So many stuff can be used to compromise the system. So, but the white hat hackers are basically those guys. I call them the ethical hackers. They're actually called the ethical hackers. So these ones are, you can look at them as cybersecurity experts or cybersecurity analysts or architects that seek permissions to test the security or the security strength of a system. All right. Sometimes they carry out what they call pen testing. Pen pen testing is referred to as penetration testing. So they carry out penetration testing. For example, maybe you build a network and you want to ensure that your network is secured from hackers. You're going to invite the ethical hackers that will carry out a sort of a penetration test on your network. Maybe a bank just started up, and before they move into production, they need to bring in some security analysts to do some vulnerability tests or some penetration testing to ensure that their network is secured from hackers. So if the penetration testers carry out their penetration tests and they are able to penetrate the network, then it means the network is not secured enough. They have to go iterate, rework on it, and schedule another penetration testing again. So before a network goes fully into production, it has to go through a lot of penetration testing. Do you understand? Because if you don't go through a lot of penetration testing, of course, someone can ruin a black hat hacker can ruin your business. All right, just imagine Amazon going down for like an hour. Do you know the amount of billions of dollars they'll lose in just an hour? So see to that. So a whole lot of penetration testing goes on daily basis. A lot of vulnerability assessment and all of that goes on daily basis because you want to ensure they are in business. You understand? So that's basically that. So, like I said, the public network, sorry for that diversion, the public network is there for everyone. So, if you must be on the public network, you must have a lot of security measures in place, all right, to protect you from any sort of man in the middle attack or any kind of attacking measures that the black hat hackers guy would want to probably use to compromise you or compromise the system. You understand? So a VPN, like I was trying to show you, a VPN, like I was trying to show you, it's a virtual private network. So most multinationals make use of VPNs. All right. So it's is a network over the internet. So that's a VPN, a network over the internet or a network in the internet. So a network in the internet in the sense that this kind of network is passing through the internet, but in this case, it is encrypted, it is secured. All right. So data transfer moving through that internet tunnel is secured because it is encrypted owing to some technologies that are put in place to protect this data passing through the internet. All right. So most branch offices and all of that uses VPNs. All right, to link up their branch offices. Do you understand? Most multinational companies uses VPN to link up their branch office with another. All right, because they know the public network is not secured. They might be transferring highly sensitive data. So if it's going to the internet, they can be victims of mind in the middle attack. So they wouldn't want to avoid, they want to avoid that. So they end up setting up a VPN, a virtual private network, a tunnel in the internet. I hope that makes sense to us. All right, let's drive. Now, please, I wouldn't be able to respond to questions now. I'll respond to questions when I'm done. Okay, please. Okay, I have a lot to cover. Just allow me finish up. Okay, thank you. All right, so next, we've talked about internet, right? Please note anything I'm saying right now, just expect it in the exam, okay? And study more about it, okay? So VPN, what's a VPN? Virtual Private Network. VPN, acronym for VPN. The acronym VPN means Virtual Private Network. Let me take you to all results. They're giving me VPN from several providers. VPN meaning, yeah. So VPN, virtual private network. Okay. All right. So let's drive. Okay. This is done recording. Okay. I hope you're listening. Please, uh, please reply with a yes if you're following along. I just hope I'm not talking to myself all this while. Please reply with a yes if you're following. Okay. Thank you. All right. So next, we're going to look at internet protocols. Now, what is a protocol? Now, a protocol is just a standard set of rules that is used for communication. All right. And when it comes to transfer of data, of course, if I want to talk to, maybe I want to talk to Gideon now, I need Gideon and I need to understand a particular language, right? So maybe I want to talk to Medora and whoever. We both need to understand the same language, right? So that is protocol. Look at it as protocol, sets of rules. Do you understand? So set of rules that are being used to interact, all right, with each other. So now let's bring it back into the protocol that has to do with the internet. So the protocol, when it has to do with internet, are a set of rules that governs the transfer of data from one device to the other. For example, if Gideon's device wants to communicate with Nathaniel's device, they need to understand some set of rules. Some set of rules need to be in place that can allow Gideon's device to interact with Nathaniel's device. Do you understand? So everything as far as communication over the internet is concerned in this world, you just have to note as far as communication over the internet is concerned in this world, it is done using a protocol. Do you understand? As far as communication over the internet is concerned in this world is done using what? A protocol. That's what I want you to note. If you can understand this concept, the better your life will be if you're diving into IT in the future. Do you understand? So communication is done using a protocol. Device A want to communicate with device B, it is done using a protocol. A human beings want to interact with each other. Both of them need to understand a particular language, maybe English or maybe their native language. It's up to them. So device A mobile device A wants to communicate with mobile device B. They need a language, they need a protocol, they need a set of rules. Do you understand? So that's it. So now there are a lot of protocols, but I'm just going to introduce you just very few that you may have been using. I just want to talk about the ones I know you use every so often. HTTP is a protocol. HTTP means Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Hypertext Transfer Protocol. All right. Now, what is HTTP? Now, let me make it very clear to you. If you want to retrieve a page from the internet, you use HTTP or HTTPS. Just note that. You want to retrieve a page from the internet. Maybe you want to retrieve a page from the internet using, of course, you know, in order to retrieve a page from the internet, you need to use your browser, right? A browser is the only software that can allow you to retrieve a page from the internet. You don't use any other software other than a browser. Do you understand? Whether you're making use of Chrome, you're making use of Internet Explorer, you're making use of Mozilla Firefox, or you're making use of Tor, or you're making use of Opera Mini, Opera, or whatever browser of your choice, it makes use of a protocol to retrieve a website. Do you understand? So you can either make use of HTTP or HTTPS. HTTP or HTTPS. Now you might ask me, Nathaniel, what's the difference between HTTP and HTTPS? Now let me tell you that in a very common parlance. Retrieving a website using HTTP is not secured, while retrieving a website using HTTPS is secured. I talked about the man-in-the-middle attack, right? If you're retrieving a website using HTTP, you can be a victim of the man-in-the-middle attack. If you're retrieving a website using HTTPS, you can't be a victim of the man-in-the-middle attack. Now, the difference between HTTPS and HTTP is that HTTP is not secured, while HTTPS is secured. What's the full meaning of HTTP? HTTP means Hypertext Transfer Protocol, while HTTPS means or Secured Hypertext Transfer Protocol, or you can say Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secured. It's up to you, however I want to put it, but ensure you bring in that secured for me, or bring in that secured, not for me, for everybody that's into IT. It's very important. So if you ask all the full meaning of HTTPS, it is Secured Hypertext Transfer Protocol or Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secured. All right. So the difference is that this is secured and this one is insecure. This is unsecured while this one is secured, or this one is encrypted and while this one is unencrypted. Do you understand? So that's HTTPS. So whenever you want to retrieve a page from the internet, all right, you make use of these protocols, any of these protocols, HTTP or HTTPS. Do you understand? Now, if I click on these, of course, you can see I go to SSL. Now, if I click on these, you saw where I clicked on, right? The padlock here, right? If I click on the padlock and I click on certificates, you can see SSL server certificates. Now, let me tell you something so that you don't get thrown off here. Now, SSL is that certificate that allows HTTPS to be implemented in a website. So if you want, maybe you're going to web application development and maybe you tell your company or the hosting company you want to deploy your web application or the website you've developed into. You tell them that, please, I want to ensure that my website uses HTTPS. You don't need to speak like that. Just tell them you want to implement SSL or you want to buy an SSL certificate, because the SSL certificate are bought. Now, SSL certificate is what allows HTTPS to be implemented. SSL means secured sockets layer. Secured sockets layer. SSL, secured sockets layer. There's a new concept, TLS. SSL, you can see this. TLS is the modern concept, is a modern technology for implementing HTTPS. SSL is old, is phasing out gradually. TLS means transport layer security. SSL means secured socket layer. What I just want you to note about these two protocols is that they are protocols that is used to implement what? HTTPS, enforce HTTPS. If you want your website or your web app to be able to enforce HTTPS when a user is trying to retrieve that website or that web page, you need to use what? An SSL certificate. All right, so that is done using SSL or TLS. So you can look that up, SSL or TLS. So I'm gradually running out of time. Transport layer security and secured socket layer. Didn't show that. Let me just write it alone. All right. Secured socket layer. All right. So all you just need to note about these certificates or these layers or these sort of security algorithms, they are just security measures or protocols or technologies that can be used to enforce HTTPS, not HTTP. If you see a website that just has only a website that has been retrieved with just HTTP, it means that that website doesn't have an SSL or a TLS. Do you understand? I just hope you understand that. Okay, so that's basically that. All right. I talked about a lot of protocols. I'll just quickly try. Already running out of time. Let me just quickly run you through some of the protocols. I talked about SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. You use this protocol whenever you want to send mails. All right. You open your you open your mail clients in your device. Maybe you open your mail client, your Gmail in your device, your Gmail app on your mobile device, and you want to send mail. You need to ensure that the SMTP server is set up properly. Automatically, it does that automatically for you. You don't need to do that. But in case you're having technical challenge, you need to know that in sending mails, you need to know that the SMTP configuration might be wrong and all of that. So if you're having challenge sending mails, but if you're having challenge retrieving mails, there are two protocols that are used in retrieving mails, POP and IMAP. POP versus IMAP. I guess I must have told you the difference between POP and IMAP. But let me just tell you quickly. POP means Post Office Protocol. All right. It is a protocol that is being used to retrieve email. But in this case of retrieving email using POP, let me see if I can have a picture that tells a story about POP and IMAP. POP and IMAP. POP and IMAP. Let me bring this up.
Jesus.
Now watch. For IMAP, let me just tell you the differences. All right. For IMAP, if you want to retrieve a mail using IMAP, IMAP retrieves that mail and still maintain a duplicate of that mail, of a duplicate copy of that mail in the server. All right, you can see these two arrows, arrow up here and arrow moving back and forth between the clients, arrow moving back and forth between the clients. That tells you that when you retrieve a mail to your computer, that mail still stays on the server. Do you understand? You still have a copy of that mail on the server. But look at in the case of POP, when a new mail comes on a server and you retrieve it to your device, it deletes the copy, it deletes a copy of that mail in that server. Do you understand? So if you go online, maybe you are currently, you set up your Gmail app to use your Gmail Android app to use POP to retrieve mail from your Gmail. All right. So if a mail comes into Gmail server, into Google server, and your mobile device retrieves that mail to your mobile device, your mobile device retrieves that mail. If you go online, maybe you go to gmail.com to check for that mail, you won't find it. Do you understand? If you're using POP, you won't find it. The only place you can find the mail is on your mobile device. So your POP retrieves that mail from the server and deletes a copy for security reasons. So most companies, most multinational companies use POP. All right. So they rather have the mail locally on their device, because if someone compromises the server, all right, they can have access to the mails. But if you're using POP to retrieve a mail, if a mail drops on the server and your device automatically synchronizes, checks for mail, it will pull up the mail and delete a copy of that mail on the server. So even someone goes online to check for that mail, you can never find it on that server again, because your mobile device or your client has retrieved that mail locally for security reasons. All right. So the difference between POP and IMAP is, with POP, mails are retrieved and deleted completely from the server and only made available locally to your device. While IMAP, mails are retrieved from the server, but you can still have a copy of that mail on the server, such that if you go online to access that mail, or to access maybe that server online, maybe for example, like in the likes of Google, you go online to maybe gmail.com to access that mail, you still find that mail. Do you understand? Like now, in my own case, most of my email accounts I use POP. So if I go to my Gmail, I won't see that mail again. The only time I can see that mail is to use my mobile app. All right, that's the only time I can find copies of those mails. But online, I can't find them. Do you understand? For security reasons, because you're not really sure about this server, the underlying security of that server. So if a mail drops, it pulls it automatically. So you need to set some synchronization, the time you want your device to always synchronize the server to check for mail. Sometimes with Gmail by default has it for 15 minutes, so always check every 15 minutes for new mails and all of that. So but I don't know, if I think there's some other clients that can give you I think it can allow you to increase, or sorry, to reduce the time from 15 minutes to maybe to about 2 minutes or 5 minutes or thereabouts. Do you understand? So that's the difference between IMAP and POP tree. You see, like I said, generally, whenever it comes to device interaction on the internet, or mobile or communication in general on the internet communication, it is done using a protocol. There are a whole lot of protocols that that comes into the picture when it comes to mails. There's so many protocols. I don't want to start boring you with a lot of them. But if you really want to go into IT, all right, like a course, like focus in IT, whether it's programming, learning, artificial intelligence, networking and security, cybersecurity, and all of that, you need to learn a lot of these things. In fact, you need to learn a whole lot. Do you understand? To arm yourself at all times. So that's just it. So I'm just gonna rest my case with just one last protocol, and that is FTP. FTP is another protocol. It's called File Transfer Protocol. When you're trying to download a file, or you're trying to upload a file, the protocol that allows that to work is FTP, File Transfer Protocol. That's the protocol that allows that to work. That's the protocol that allows that scenario to be possible. Without that, such scenario, downloading, uploading can never be possible as far as communication is concerned. All right. So FTP is a protocol that facilitates uploading and downloading of files, all right, from the internet, or maybe locally, or from anywhere, whether on a local network, on a VPN, wherever you're trying to download files from, whether it's, as long as that file is on a network, FTP is what facilitates that file download and upload. Do you understand? I'm not going to talk so much about it. Okay, so I have a lot to cover. Internet practicals, okay? or word processing packages, units of storage. I still have some stuff to cover. Okay, now word processing packages. We looked at the likes of Microsoft Word, all right, word processing. So I told you that when it comes to digitalizing of words or digitalizing of data, all right, that is done using some word processing packages. All right, you want to convert your data, all right, to a digital form, or you want to convert your data to a digital format, you can do that using a word processor. And I gave you typical examples of word processors, like the likes of Google's Doc, which happens to be my favorite. Then you have Microsoft Word, which also happens to be some of your favorites. I know a lot of you love Microsoft Word so much. You can't give up for Microsoft Word for any other package. Anyways, it's good. It's a good thing. Microsoft Word is still good. So Microsoft Word is a word processing package. You also have the likes of Google's Doc. Then we talked about presentation packages, and we
Teacher,
looked at.
please, I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, sorry. Okay, okay. I hope you can hear me now. My chats. Okay. I hope you can hear me now. Please reply with a yes if you can hear me properly.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay, all right. All right, so I talked about presentation packages. We have Google Slides, which happens to be my favorite as well. So Google Slides. Then you also have Microsoft PowerPoint. All right, you have Impress and all of that. Okay, so with that being said, we're already running out of time. The class is over. I'm feeling bad. I've not been able to finish this up. Okay, so you help me do the heavy lifting. All right, I trust you guys. You help me do that heavy lifting. So read about computer ethics. Okay, what I want you to notice, just tell me what computer ethics is all about. Of course, you know it's going to be a multiple choice question. So if you just know what computer ethics is all about, all right, then you should be able to tell me which you should be able to convert from. You should be able to convert from one unit of storage to another, from megabyte to gigabyte, from kilobyte to megabyte, from kilobytes, from bytes to kilobytes, and all of that. So you should also note, you should also be able to give me equivalent. So some of the equivalents of pardon me, I said equivalent. So you should be able to give me some of the equivalents of some of these storages, or these storage units. So units of storage, like you should be able to tell me 100 megabytes should be equals to what? If I tell you 100 megabytes is equals to what, you would tell me that a gigabyte is equal to this, or is equivalent to what? You should be able to give me that. So just go through the units of storage. Okay? I'm trying to quickly wrap up. All right, then word processing, I've talked about that. So please just read about units of storage, the equivalents, computer ethics, word processing packages, the command that very importantly, the command that is used to run Microsoft Word from the command line. WinWord, that's the command used to run Microsoft Word from the command line. Then the command that is used to run Excel from the PowerPoint from the command line. From your run dialog box, sorry, not the command line.
Please, sir, can you repeat that part?
What did you say?
Please, sir, can you repeat what WinWord is for?
Sorry,
the command
what did you say?
WinWord, what's for?
WinWord?
Yes, sir.
For the command.
Okay, yeah, the command WinWord. This is it on my screen. Sorry, not WinWord. All right. Use this command to run Microsoft Word from your run dialog box. Didn't I show you guys this? Did I show you guys this? Hello? I hope I showed you guys this. I did. So you press the Windows key and letter R. All right, the run dialog box will appear. So if you type WinWord, it will now, and press the enter key or click on OK, it should launch Microsoft Word for you. You understand? Then for PowerPoint, all right, I also showed you for PowerPoint command power PW. What's that command? Is it power? Okay, power. Is it power PPT? Please, or power command to launch PowerPoint. Yep, from Word. Yeah, power PNC. All right. So power PNC, that's a command. Power PNC. Okay. All right. So I wish you guys the very best in the exam. Trust me, all I've just said today is in the exam. Okay, I'll put it in the exam. So just revise on what I've just said today. Okay. The exams is actually going to be very simple. So see you guys next week, and do have a wonderful day. Gideon, you wanted to ask a question.
So isn't it dangerous to bring people to come and check, penetrate your website? Isn't that dangerous because you don't trust them on what they are doing? And in the end, they might use that website against you.
No, it's not actually dangerous, because if you don't bring experts, you don't actually bring in experts to test. So you're rather telling your website to be tested by, you're already giving room for your website to be tested by a black hat hacker unknowingly to you. So it is good to bring in experts to test your website or your network for security. They do need to do what we call a vulnerability assessment to find if there are vulnerabilities and all of that. It's very important. So it's not dangerous. And you use an ethical hacker. You actually use an ethical hacker or a cybersecurity expert or people who has that expertise in that area.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
You understand? So you don't just bring anybody, because if you bring anybody, someone who is not certified, the person can use that against you. If the person finds that vulnerability, he might not want to tell you. He might keep it himself and probably use that to nail you someday.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. All right. See you guys next week. I'll upload a video of the session, all right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, 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 bye.